Hello everyone, it's Gwathorn from Gwathorn's Games, and I am running the Heroic+2 Mariner, and I'm in level 18, the starters area, starters guide to running the Mariner. Now I've actually got all three builds are pretty good, I have to say, for DPS, but I've actually decided that that the Rover is probably the best of the Heroic+2 builds for two reasons. The first is you can slot in Motivating Song, which is a bit of a heal. But you've also got the Shocking Counterattack, which gives you a 100% chance of stun when you use Advance after Repose, which I've got slotted in there. I'm actually going from left to right through all of this. But the other thing it gives that the other two slots don't give is a stun. A 25-second daze, which means you can deal with two creatures a lot better. Now I'll just run through this. Now I will be heading more into the 4 side of things, but I'll actually just run this for starters. Okay, so relatively straightforward. I'll actually go through the skills that I'm using one by one, but first of all I'm going to run a couple of yellow creatures. So I haven't got that much left for level 18, so I just thought I'd actually run a few. Okay, and we've gone up into the 4 side of things. Now it is running relatively straightforward. I will get those 2 as well, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to daze one of them, and then I'm going to go and attack the other. That skill's still on cooldown, that's okay. Get out of there. And that thrust right at the end of it was sufficient, but I've now got to go and deal with this one because it was dazed, not. Yeah, got to get out of that. I've got my heals. Not a lot, but it's enough. And there we have 2 yellows dealt with. You can see it's pushing over to the right. So, it does, as I said, the yellow line does give you that extra stun, gives you a little bit of vitality, but it gets you that extra stun and it gets you a fire breath, which is nice. It's very difficult to get over to the aft side of things at this level, but I'm almost going to hit level 19. So what I'm running is On Guard, which gives me a 50% blades shield parry chance and a plus 100% thrust damage. Then I've got blade shield, so that goes up even further, does some repose damage bonus. Thrust, breath of fire, which is a damage over time, which is nice. Repose, which gives that 100% chance of stun, and advance, which debilitating strike will disarm the target. I've got that in there, but I usually jump for lunge if I get the chance, because there is enough pushing in 4 to get lunge in. That's the heal that I've got coming from over here, which is the Motivating Melody. You get a nice little push with Extended Stupor, which gives dazes and roots an extra 10 seconds. So it just gives you that much time to be able to do what you need to do. And Caustic Brew, well, that's nice too. So that's pretty much the yellow line side of things. Now the red line side is fine. It actually has some it has some multiple. So it has some AOE here when you get down this far, and it is fine. It just doesn't have the stun, doesn't have the days, which comes as part of the yellow line. It just doesn't have the days. It's got AOE, so it's quite fine if you're not running Heroic+2. But as you can see, I'm running difficulty 9, Heroic+2, max difficulty. And now I'll go over to the blue line, which again, I've ended up pushing a whole heap into Breath of Fire and the shocking counterattack. And I've kept the motivating melody. So it's pretty much the same build at this point. But what you've got is you've got Dramatic Flourish, which does give you a heal. And it gives you a heal every 20 seconds pretty much. So it's actually not too bad, but it's better at staying alive as long as there's only one opponent. So I'll go through this again. There's that. And we'll go for lunge as well. There we go. So that's leveled me. So it's going to be a little bit harder to take on yellow now. But again, what we've done is I've now got 2 heals. The Dramatic Flourish, which I do build up enough points to get it needs 7, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's enough to kick those in. I've got a damage over time if I really need it, but I've got a lunge and a Dramatic Flourish, and I've still got that heal. So let's go in again. Got to get out of there. But I do have that heal up my sleeve. And I've got another heal if I really need it. Okay, let's try that again with the Brute. And it works quite well. You know, it's really quite reliable. Now, might actually die here, but I've got that lunge giving me that little bit. Got to get out of here. That extra heal is not going to be able to be enough to get me, but I did actually manage to get out of it. Now this is actually a medium armored character, so it is pretty susceptible to damage. But you see, look, it was reliable enough to get through. That extra bit of healing made a difference, but it's not as good as being able to stun one of those 2, take care of that first one, and then move over to the second. It is better at healing, but that's just the way of it. You've got this heal anyway. You can push further down into the tree, and I probably will do it at later levels, but at this point in time, it just isn't. The advantage is in these Breath of Fire and shocking counterattack, and that's pretty much the beginning of the Heroic+2 Mariner. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you with other videos. Bye all.